Off the Grid has been in development for the last 3 years, and I've been playing it for the last 3 months. But there are still haters out there that think the game is not real, that it's a complete scam, and it's just another battle royale. Let this big beautiful mustache right here settle something right now. Off the Grid is going to be the next big third-person shooter to dominate the market. If you love games like Fortnite, PUBG, Apex, or Warzone, you're going to love this very real game. Okay, now that we've enraged the haters even further, let's dump some gasoline on the fire and talk about NFTs in the game. I've gotten a lot of questions about this topic, so in my latest intel report, I give you all the alpha on how nodes and NFTs work in Off the Grid. It's mission time. Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here. We are GIA Headquarters, the Gaming Intelligence Agency, bringing you always the latest updates on all the coolest games out there. And today is one of my most favorite games, definitely at the top of my list, Off the Grid. This game has been in development for quite a few years now, and we've been testing it and playing it on PC and now PS5 for the last 3 months. This game is a ton of fun. We have everybody in my guild and in my community, the Gaming Intelligence Agency here, we're all playing it. But there are a lot of haters out there saying it's not real, that it's just another battle royale, no one's going to play it. But I'm here to dispel those myths that this is going to be one of the top games. I have no doubt about this. I've never been more confident about a game, not only just a crypto game, but just any game. You could remove all the crypto elements from this game and I would still say this is a great game. But the crypto elements do kick it up a notch. So today we're going to talk a little about those NFT elements that you'll find in the game. They're so seamless and they're so easy to use that you don't even really realize that you're using any kind of NFTs or crypto. It just makes the game better and easier. That's it. So today we're going to dive into nodes and talk about a little bit about NFTs, but really specifically focusing on the nodes themselves, how they work, why they're important, show you a little bit of data on those nodes, right? What we're seeing right now, the transaction volume, and then a little bit more information on how you can get a node, and also some information on the way you can hold a node, right? We want to talk about some of the cool things. I'm going to show you guys all these tricks. Let's get it. All right, here it is in all its epic glory. This right here that you see on the screen is an epic hex. Hexes are the items you find inside the game while you're playing, and then they can decode them to become NFT weapons or parts or limbs or whatever it may be. So the NFTs are kind of locked inside this little box, and you got to decode them, right? So it's a random loot box essentially, right? Just like any other game, you know, you're playing like a Counter-Strike and you got your loot box there. You never know what you're gonna get. Same thing here with these hexes. They're called hexes in the game. Now, you know, when you talk about this, we're like, well, decode, what does that even mean? Why do I gotta decode it? Well, because all of these items, because they're random and because they're blockchain based, they are using a decentralized system to decode these. So it's not just the game, right? It's not just like, oh, well, you know, it's the Counter-Strike servers. The Counter-Strike runs it. They're the ones doing it all. Well, these are actually run by nodes, this service. They're run by decentralized nodes that multiple thousands of people own. And those are then, you know, essentially getting a consensus to say, yes, this is a valid item, we're decoding it. That way you don't have to actually trust the game that they're you know, not somehow rigging it, right? Saying, okay, well, you know, we say these are the percentages for what you could get in these boxes, but really it's not. We may never know. But that's one of the great systems about using blockchain is that you can verify this stuff. And so the nodes inside of Off the Grid, that's what they essentially function as. Let's go take a little bit more in-depth look at what a node actually is. So a validator node inside of Off the Grid decodes hexes and mints new in-game NFTs for players, right? These are all the in-game items. Your guns, your gun skins, your attachments, all of your cosmetics and wearables, right? These are all NFTs, and you know, these nodes, these validator nodes, they decode those hexes, those loot boxes with random stuff in them, so you open them and you get whatever is inside, right? And the cool thing about this is obviously, you know, as a node owner, you're getting rewarded for this, right? You do have to purchase these nodes and run them, and so you're getting rewarded every time someone is decoding an item, right? Whether they're, you know, getting a brand new item from in-game, or some other cool things about when they get, you know, actually traded in the marketplace. So you can see, like, how do you use them? Well, you got to activate your NFT validator node when you start getting it, and you'll start receiving these gun rewards. Gun is the in-game token for Off the Grid. And you'll start receiving gun tokens, which you can use inside of the game to buy things or do other stuff, right? And you're getting rewards for decoding these hexes, right? You're contributing to the network. The interesting thing is, once you've activated your node, you will also receive an additional resale commission from the item after it's been traded, right? So if you decoded that item and then someone goes to the marketplace and trades it again, you get a little small commission on that, right? So you can see right now that you can actually build some decent passive income in owning one of these nodes. Now they are limited. There's only 10,000 of these nodes that will ever exist. So beyond that, you're not going to be able to have a chance to get them. They do have different rarities, different power, and a different amount of gun token locked inside of them, right? It's kind of like the fuel that helps that node continue to process transactions. So each one of them has kind of a little bit of different, aspects, right? The interesting thing about these nodes is it is the sole means to obtain unlocked and non-vested gun tokens. All these other VCs that have got into Off the Grid early, maybe they got some gun tokens that they have, in their in a portfolio. They have a very long vesting period, which means they cannot touch those tokens. They're locked in a contract for many years, right? For many years, and there's a schedule when they'll get unlocked. Now, this is owning a node is really the only way to have unlocked gun tokens outside of that, right? And the cool thing about this is that not only is this node going to work for Off the Grid, but it's also going to be a way you get rewards for all games on the Guns chain. And that includes, the Technocore game, which is already out on iOS and Android. Pretty cool. So as you can see here, there's a couple of different nodes. You got your common, your rare, your epic. There's also legendary and ancient, which is not shown on this list for whatever reason. This is an updated one where they removed those, but they do still exist and they are out there. We're going to show you a little bit more about that in a second. Obviously, common, there's the most 6,000, rare 3,000, epic 900. There's only, I think, 195 legendary and very small amount of ancient. I think it's only 15 or 20. We'll see. But this shows you the price that they were originally offered at, right? 2K, 5K, 20K. You can imagine what legendary and ancient would be, and the amount of guns locked inside of each one of these nodes, right? And then you can see the amount of total W gun, right? 120 million, 150, 180. Resale commission, right? For anytime someone resells an item you decoded, you're going to get more depending on the rarity of your node. So it definitely depends on what you're buying, but that is a factor here. Now, one of the cool things about this, and one of the things I'm actually really excited for our guild, the Hextractors, I'm running one of the largest guilds right now inside of Off the Grid. And we're always welcoming new people to come in and learn the ropes. We love to show new people all about Off the Grid, so make sure you guys join my Discord. But the guild partnership program allows these nodes to be owned by guilds, and it grants them a 5x progression rate in the game for all of its members. That's crazy. You're going to be getting crazy progression if you own one of these nodes. And so basically the original monetization model will be changed from receiving a commission for each decoded data cube like we were just talking about, to that validator node now being able to sell in-game NFT items collected by their guild members. Right, so you're getting extra functionality, or you can kind of switch it over to be a guild node and give you all these cool functionalities. As you guys can see, depending on what rarity of node you have, you get different stats, right? Guild member amounts that can be on an epic node, which is the style of node I'm running, right? For my guild, the Hextractors and the GIA, we're running at least one epic node. We have a bunch of others that we're going to be running, but this is going to be the main one. And it does have a limit of 38 users, and you can see the rarity of mount and everything, the price. It's all about the same, right? But that's like a big thing to have one of these things. So you kind of get a double use case out of this, which I love. Let's go take a look at some of the actual numbers here for nodes so you guys can understand where we're at with this. All right, this is the hackers dashboard for the Guns token. This is the public dashboard that anybody can go access, and you can see all the really great data here, right? So as you see right now, license activated and inactive. So there's about 2,849 common that are activated. More of them are not even activated yet. I don't know why they're not activating these things. Activate them now if you own a node, because right now you'll start decoding a bunch of hexes for everyone who's playing in the early access playtest, the Pioneers program, and you're still earning gun. There's no reason not to activate them right now. Obviously, the people who own rare nodes, way more of them have activated, 2,463. only about 537 are inactive. And then epic nodes, only 723 and 177 have not been activated. And you can see here, legendary, there's 91 activated, 2 not, and then we have 7 ancient, right? So there's less than 10 of those out here. You can kind of look at the active hash power. It's increased slightly, right? This is not going to increase too crazy much because we know how many nodes are out there. It really comes down to how many are active. So as people activate them, a little bit more hash power is added. This is not going to change significantly much until we see something like this gets activated, or like this, right? But this is one of the big numbers right here, is the total decoded hexes. You can see, like, for the last couple of months, like we only have the last 30 days. We can do 7 days or 30 days here. But the last couple of months, you know, we're seeing a lot of decoded hexes. Like, it's in the thousands. And then here's a spike, a huge one. Why? Because this is when they opened up the PC playtesting for instant access. Before, it was very much closely guarded. You had to have a top-end system. You had to kind of know somebody. You'd apply. It was very hard to get in. A lot of people got salty because they couldn't get in. I popped my collar. I've been in the entire time. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of people out there that get really angry because they can't get into something like this, and then they just want to instantly call it a scam because they don't get in. But this is you can see this number right here pump because everyone learned that, hey, they changed it around. You can get instant access now if you have PC and you have a decent rig. And then you see, okay, well, it went down because this is the weekend when everyone's playing, right? The play tests are during the weekends only. And so you see them spike up during weekends or just leading up to a weekend, right? And the same thing happened when we got our PS5 playtest. This game is now on PlayStation 5. It is the very first crypto game on console. And you can see yet another big bump with PlayStation players coming in and like the second highest all-time volume for hex decoding, for NFTs being minted, right? Created through usage of nodes, right? People decoding these hexes through the nodes. And, you know, it's fallen off a little bit, but I think we'll see it spike again coming into the weekend. You can see all the data here about how many hexes are decoded by rarity. Obviously, the higher rarity of the node, the more chance you have of decoding a hex. I love this chart right here because it really shows you a great visual of what's decoding the most hexes, and you know, based upon how many nodes, right? Epic right now is definitely leading the way, and then you have your common and your rares, and then you have I guess common is all the way down here at the bottom, right there. Yeah, your common, your rare, and your legend. You know, legendary is funny because legendary is just below rare, right? You're just getting just a little bit below rare. But those epic nodes are straight printing. Now, taking a look at my particular node, the one node that we have for the guild, maybe I got a couple on reserve, we'll see. I got a couple nodes sitting around. But the one we have on reserve for the Hextractors, my guild here at the GIA, has been printing here for the last couple of months. So you can see I've earned about 237 gun token. This shows you the royalty. Huge spike here. Look at this huge spike here when PS5 players came in. Because people are buying and selling stuff all over the place, right? And then here's earnings from decoding. You can see that there's that same spike. PlayStation 5 players came in. And then this is really cool. It shows you the last 7 days. How many hexes has your node decoded? Pretty sweet. Now, another thing that people don't realize about these nodes a lot of times is they actually come with their own cool PFP. It's so undervalued and just not even put out that much. But this is my unique one-of-one PFP that goes with my node, and every node has one. I mean, this guy looks pretty fire, if I do say so myself. He's got all the crazy cool gear on. I mean, I want that gear for my guy in game. I want to be able to put it on my cosmetics, so hopefully we see that sweet mask coming in the future. But yet another benefit of node ownership. Now, when you look at some of the other details about the guns token, one of the things that we do want you guys to understand is that, you know, right now, because everything is in testnet, it's kind of hard to find, you know, what wallet works great, or where can I hold my node, or what if I want to do multi-sigs? Questions like that, right? Well, Guns, the ecosystem here, they've partnered with Fireblocks. They're an institution level, we'll say, non-custodial wallet. And they are going to be offering all the services for gun node owners and anybody who wants to create a very secure wallet to be able to hold any of their assets, right? And so they did a whole PR about this not too long ago. But the interesting thing I actually want to take out of this, besides like this is where you would go, Fireblocks is what you would look as the solution here to hold your node, right? Maybe you wanted to do multi-sig with a couple of people. That's the way to go. But to date, This is brand new data. To date, Guns boasts over 800,000 wallets on its testnet. That's a significant amount of people who have a wallet for Guns. Now, I'm sure there's multi-wallets in there, but you're not going to be that many, right? Not going to be that many. And then all the haters and people were saying, hey, you know what? Barely anybody's playing this game. Nobody's on here. Nobody's playing it. It's just, there's a handful of people. Over 400,000 transactions last weekend and 30,000 players playing last weekend as PS5 was launched into testing for Off the Grid. So a significant amount of people jumping into this game and playing Off the Grid right now, and those nodes are definitely going to be valuable here now and in the future, whether you're running a guild or you're just looking for some passive income. Maybe you're looking to just be a trader in the marketplace. Always great to hold one of these. All right, there you go, agents. Everything you wanted to know about nodes inside of Off the Grid, how NFTs kind of work with them in a very basic way. I could go into more detail, but there is still an NDA for this game. I can't share footage. There's a ton of things, so much stuff, so many things that I can't share. Please, Gunzilla, lift the NDA. I just want to be able to share this amazing game with all of you guys and show you everything cool and give you all the tutorials. They are coming. As soon as that NDA is lifted, you know I'm going to have tons of videos on how to do everything inside of Off the Grid. So make sure you guys subscribe, stay tuned. That's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash.